That woman didn't leave with a dramatic goodbye. No long text, no emotional breakdown, no final plea, just silence. Because by the time a woman chooses silence, she's already had 1,000 conversations with herself in her head about it. She replayed the arguments. She tried to explain her hurt in 1,000 different ways. She begged out loud and in her mind for the type of love that does not make her question her worth. And when nothing changed, she chose herself. Proud of you, queen. It's not because she stopped caring. It's because she finally realized that her words were not being heard. And honestly, she was done bleeding from the wounds that she did not create. See, silence is cold. It's the sound of a woman healing. It's the peace that she found when she realized closure does not always bring answers. It comes with acceptance. So if she goes quiet, don't confuse that with indifference. It just means that woman's done explaining what should have been seen. She's done fighting for love that didn't fight for her. She's done waiting on somebody to finally realize the value that they lost. Her silence, that was her goodbye. I know it's not always easy, going silent and healing. Just know I'm praying for you. Keep your head up.
When a woman is actually truly done, you're not going to hear about it. There's going to be no more talking. You're going to fucking feel it. You're going to feel her silence and her disconnect from you. And at that point, you're going to be wishing that you could have a sit-down conversation and she was blowing up your phone.
When a woman stops arguing with you, start praying. She has already packed. My brothers, let me tell you something. A woman's departure never begins with her feet. It begins with her silence, not the silence of peace, the silence of exhaustion. The silence of a heart that has shouted, pleaded, explained, repeated, and realized that nothing she says will ever reach you. When she argued, she believed. When she raised her voice, she was still fighting for the connection. When she cried, she still saw a future. Her noise was not chaos. It was commitment. Her frustration was not disrespect. It was investment. Her fire was not rebellion. It was love trying to breathe. But the day she stops arguing, the day she stops asking where you are, the day she stops reminding you of what hurts her, that is the day her spirit begins to pack long before her hands touch a suitcase. Understand this. A woman lives emotionally before she lives physically. Her silence is not emptiness. It is a decision. It is the moment she finally chooses peace over potential, clarity over confusion, and self-preservation over constant disappointment. And many men only realize the value of her voice after they've ignored it for too long. You thought she was nagging, but she was communicating. You thought she was attacking, but she was pleading. You thought she was dramatic, but she was drowning. Scripture teaches a deep principle. A wise man will hear and will increase learning. Proverbs 1:5. Hearing is not about ears. Hearing is humility. Hearing is presence. Hearing is maturity. A woman does not stop arguing because she is calm. She stops because she is done. Done explaining. Done hoping. Done carrying a relationship on the strength of her emotions alone. My brother, if she has gone quiet, don't relax. Reflect. Don't celebrate peace. Investigate it. Don't wait for her to walk away. Wake up before she does. Rebuild the connection. Rebuild the trust. Rebuild the man you promised her you would be. Silence is not her healing. It is her exit. And if you do not listen now, you will listen later through the pain of regret.
When women go silent, that's not confusion. That's judgment. Not loud, not dramatic, final. I'm Jacob Briante, I'm Big Bro, and it don't matter if the men don't get it. Ladies, this message is for you. Men call it stonewalling because it scares them, but silence isn't cruelty, it's discernment. A woman doesn't go quiet because she ran out of feelings. She goes quiet because she ran out of permission to be disrespected. She warned you more than once, in more than one tone. She lowered herself to meet you where you were, and every time she spoke, you did what manipulative men have done since the beginning of time. You delayed obedience. You knew exactly what she needed. You didn't think she'd ever stop asking. You mistook her patience for ignorance, her grace for tolerance, her loyalty for weakness. That was your miscalculation, because there comes a moment, quiet, internal, irreversible, where a woman eats the truth and never speaks it again. And once that happens, the door doesn't slam, it closes. No argument, no announcement, just removal. You weren't confused, you were comfortable. Comfortable withholding effort. Comfortable offering potential instead of presence. Comfortable feeding her hope while starving her security. Silence is the plague, not the warning. Silence is what comes after mercy has expired. That's why you suddenly want to talk when she's quiet. That's why you see it now. That's why you're ready to change. Not because you grew, but because you lost access. Manipulative men don't repent when confronted. They repent when consequences arrive. Ladies, hear me clearly. If you've gone silent, don't resurrect a situation God already buried. Don't explain yourself to someone who studied you long enough to know better. Silence is not immaturity. It's wisdom refusing to argue with willful blindness. Let him call you cold. Let him call you distant. Let him rewrite the story. You're not cold, you're awake. And fellas, when a woman stops speaking, heaven already heard her. And what you're feeling is not punishment, it's removal. And remember, ladies, accept nothing less than queen treatment.
Drama gives him power. This takes it away. When a woman still argues, begs, or tries to explain herself, this makes a man feel important. Even anger gives him relevance. Drama still tells him he still has emotional control. But that silence tells him that he has no access. And men are wired to notice access more than words. When you remove yourself calmly, no speeches, no revenge, and no emotional breakdown, a man starts replaying everything. Not because he suddenly became emotional, but because he lost certainty. A man's ego is tied to knowing that he still has a place in your life. The moment that place disappears without chaos, it shakes us. Here's what women don't expect. Men expect reactions, explanations, and for you to fight to be understood. So when you don't, it creates a power shift. You didn't lose control, he did. Losing access without drama forces a man to face his own behaviors alone. There's no distractions, no arguments to win, and no emotions to manage. Just absence. And absence is loud. This isn't manipulation. This is discipline. This is self-respect. And it's why the woman who walks away quietly is the woman that a man never forgets. Peace and love.
Calm women are hard to manipulate because you can't manipulate silence. When you start to argue with someone who is an avoidant, it's so easy for them to just use whatever you say as a distraction from the bigger issue at hand. Reacting gives them leverage to use how empathetic, how kind you are, and your vulnerabilities against you. And explaining over and over again, consistently, the issues at hand only for them to manipulate you gives them control over you. They keep you confused to consistently have control over you, specifically your emotions and the way you react to their manipulation. However, when you stay calm, none of that works. You'll watch them escalate, try to push your buttons harder, and you'll watch the tables turn as they become the ones who get frustrated and lash out like a toddler. Because if someone can no longer trigger you, it shows a sense of detachment on your end, meaning they have no control over you. I go so much deeper into patterns just like this if you want to understand what's really going on with that avoidant DL, possible narcissistic person, if you really want to understand what's going on.
Men, when a woman goes silent, you think she's done with you. But that's not what's actually happening psychologically. Her silence isn't random. It isn't an accident. And it sure as hell isn't because she forgot about you. A woman goes silent for one of three reasons. And all three have nothing to do with your worth as a man. Reason number one, she's emotionally overwhelmed, and silence is her form of control. Women don't walk away to think. They walk away to regulate. She's calming herself, not evaluating you. Reason number two, She's checking your dependency level. Silence is a test of your emotional stability, not because she's evil, but because she needs to know whether you collapse or stay grounded. She wants to see if you lose your center, because if you lose yourself over silence, she knows she will eventually stop respecting you. Reason 3, she's resetting the dynamic. Silence allows her to detach, refeel the loss, and reevaluate her role in the situation. Women return after silence for one reason only. Your lack of reaction forces her to face her own emotions. If you stay calm in her silence, something begins happening inside her psychologically. She starts thinking about the version of you she took for granted. She starts noticing your absence. She remembers the attention, the validation, the comfort you gave. But men mess this part up all the time. You chase, you panic, you break silence first. And the moment you do, you teach her that pulling away is how she controls the entire relationship. Men, her silence isn't the problem. Your reaction to her silence is the problem.
Listen to this. One of the most dangerous women is a silent woman. When a woman goes silent, be very careful. Because when a woman has given up, notice they'll stop talking. A complaining woman is a woman that still cares. When a woman stops talking, that means she stopped caring. So again, sometimes men, we complain about the fact that women keep talking. But the talking is because they're still engaged with feelings. But when the feelings have been removed, then you'll hear silence. And that's when she becomes dangerous. Don't let that go over your head.
Whenever you see a good woman go silent, understand, it took a lot for her to go silent. It's been a lot of expressing herself, bouncing her words off a brick wall that never got heard. Every time she expresses herself, it seems like she's nagging. It seems like she's just striking up an argument for no reason. But you gotta understand, whenever that woman goes silent, it's not because she don't care no more. It's just that if she's not being heard, what's the point of continue talking? But understand this though, once she goes silent, that's the beginning of the end. Unless you do a complete major turnaround without even her saying anything, that is the beginning of the end. And just know, you might lose that woman forever. It might not sink in your head yet, but just know.
If a woman stops asking questions inside of a relationship, here's the 3 things it might mean and why you probably should be concerned. Number 1, why ask questions she already got the answers to? She already knows you no longer see her as a wife. She already know you be acting suspicious. She already know you can't be better. And if you could, you ain't gonna be better for her. She got the answers to the test. She no longer has confusion about where she stands. Matter of fact, when a woman stops asking questions, that's the most clear. Typically, she's been in a relationship. She's clear about you, which leads to number 2. She don't even want to give you an opportunity to lie no more. Cause she already know. It hurts her every time she used to hear you lie and be deceptive and gaslight her as if your actions wouldn't speaking louder than those words. Your actions say you don't want to be here. Your actions say she's just convenient. Your actions say you are using her. Or your actions say you're not concerned about her emotionally. So why would she ask just for you to lie again? And number 3, and most importantly, when a woman stops asking questions, that means she already made her decision. This woman needs no more information. Her mind is made up. Her emotions are already detached. Her plan to get away is already in motion when a woman stops asking questions. Brothers, Sometimes it don't mean the relationship is getting better. Sometimes it just gets to the point where she no longer needs to ask questions because she got the answers. She don't want to give you an opportunity to lie, and she already made her decision.
Don't ever allow or you make your woman go silent over you. Whenever woman goes silent, the brother, it means a lot. It means a lot. That relationship or that married, you see that you woman, you don't become silent. It means you don't tire, you don't sit down, you don't reason, you don't give you chance. If they talk inside your heart, say, I wish you be the listening to me. I wish you be the try for understand. That silence means a lot towards them. When una be there, if you see that woman, if be they happy, it means the relationship be they go okay, it go become funny. Anything you tell her, you go laugh. But if you see the woman become silent, it means you don't kill her happiness. Happiness no dey na that woman in heart again. So it decide for become silent. It decide for let go everything. And if you don't take time, whenever woman becomes silent, it means you don't lost her. That woman will go. So don't ever allow woman become silent in the relationship. When he becomes silent, it kill that woman they heart. Love.
Yeah, one thing I know, 80% of women use silent to express pain. You know she truly hurt when she chooses to ignore you. Best believe, and enough women can testify to this.
Here's the part nobody says out loud. Women don't leave when they're done. They leave when they're drained. You ever watch a woman stop repeating herself? Stop arguing? Stop explaining? That quiet ain't peace. That's her checking out. Let me show you why it looks like that. A woman leaves mentally long before she leaves physically. And by the time that she's quiet, she's already let go. And here's the part we don't want to admit. When she's tired of trying, nothing lands the same.
Man gets cruel when he's already emotionally gone, but a woman, she gets still. And that stillness, friend, is the loudest thing in the room. A man with narcissistic tendencies will not leave clean. He will not choose honesty ever, period. He just doesn't. He chooses erosion. He disrespects you slowly. He pushes boundaries on purpose. He pokes you until you react. So when you finally do, he can say, see, this is why I act this way. That's not conflict. That is provocation. That is emotional manipulation designed to flip the narrative and protect his fragile ego. A woman does not go quiet because she is weak. She goes quiet because she is finally awake. She already explained. She already over-communicated. She already tried to fix what was never hers to carry. And when narcissistic abuse is involved, the calm comes after the chaos, after the gaslighting, after being told she's too sensitive, dramatic, or too hard to love. Her silence means she stopped feeding the cycle. She stopped defending her reality, and she stopped asking to be chosen. She didn't leave for another man. She left because her nervous system was in survival mode, because peace started to feel safer than potential. And hear this clearly, friend. You didn't lose her when she walked away. No. You lost her when she stopped fighting with you, when she got quiet and started fighting with herself and for herself. A woman only fights for the future she believes in. When she goes silent, that future no longer includes you. She didn't leave to punish you. She left to heal from your narcissistic abuse. And once a woman reaches emotional detachment, it's over. That door does not reopen. Not with apologies, not with promises, not ever.
The most dangerous woman to a man is the one who finally detaches. Not the loud one, not the one begging, not the one threatening to leave. The quiet one. The one who stops reacting, stops explaining, stops trying to be understood. Because once a woman detaches emotionally, she's already halfway gone. And men feel that shift. Not in words, in silence, in the lack of arguing, the lack of chasing, the lack of emotion. That's when they start to panic, because The attention they look for, that they take granted for, disappears. See, a loud woman still cares. A crying woman still hopes. A begging woman still loves. But a quiet woman, she's done. She's not fighting anymore. She's observing, preparing her exit. And by the time he realized what changed, she's already gone in her mind. Men don't fear loud women. They fear the ones who go silent. Because silence means one thing. You finally saw him clearly.